Hi everybody, it's Kathy here and I am joining in with the Iron Crafter Challenge for the month of July, and we are using our punches. Tara, the paper snob, sets this up for every month for us, and we are given a challenge, and as I said, this month we're using our punches. So first of all, I'm just preparing my chipboard and I'm using my black dilution spray there to cover it and give it the colour that I want. I'm using Scrapbook Fantasies Nature's Way for this layout because I want to go with an organic feel to the page, and I'm bringing in the sages and the greens and the browns for the natural feel of this layout. Now, as I said, I've been challenged to use our punches, so I'm using this border punch here. It is a delicate doily type punch and it has a smaller scallop to it with the doily punch edging in it, and I really do like the effect that it creates on that dark background. So I'm just cleaning up that paper dust there and putting that to the side. On the reverse side of this paper there are these sage green dots, and I'm going to cut a slice of that as well. I've cut that at 4.5 and I've trimmed it down to 11, and I've used another punch, the corner rounder, to punch around the edges. I'm going to use this paper here and I'm going to cut off those fussy cut bits which we will be using to embellish the layout, and I'm creating a strip that I'm going to run across the middle as a horizontal, and I'm turning that into a fishtail. And then I'm also going to use a little strip of this with the pebbles on the other side, and that's going to give like a faux extra piece to horizontal on the layout. So because I want the black to look like it is overlapping the page, I'm just leaving that as my master for the base of my page, and I'm using the Wild Wilderness here in the green to ink and distress the edges of my panels. So this is coming together nice and easily. I do like the effect of the green on the sage. It's just adding that extra smoky feel to the edge of the layout, and I'm just going to place them all down before we get started putting it all together. Now, as I said, this is a hop that we do every month. Tara, the paper snob, she coordinates it for us. You can join in on her Facebook group where she has an album for you to post your version if you are not a YouTuber, and we love to see what other people are creating, and using your punches, which we all have in our stash, is a great way to challenge us to use what we have to create something magic. So I'm just layering this up and putting it onto my layout, and then I can start building with the rest of it. Now I have that fishtail banner cut in, and I have that as a horizontal across the layout. Now I'm using these back sheets here to match my photos because I just want to continue with that natural organic, but also to pick up the colours of the beach and the rocks from the beach into my design. Now these papers are from Scrapbook Fantasies, and Scrapbook Fantasies is an Australian company where they're printed here in Australia, designed by Alicia Bradshaw, and they are all amazing quality. I love the thickness of the paper, I love the print quality, and they always give a great finish to the layout when you use them. So as you can see, I'm matching up my photos. The colours in these papers are picking up colours in my photos. So I'm just going to lay that there in a 3-photo grid, and I'm going to use this chipboard here, which I'm going to create like a feature on the layout, just some little texture, some extra addition to what I have already started to build. Now I'm using the Nuvo Deluxe glue to hold it. It's great. It holds everything down on your layout, which is great, and it is also dry and clear, so if you do have a little bit of excess you won't see it when it's finished and dried. I've gone and fussy cut out all those little pieces that you saw on the back of that paper, and I'm using the browns and the creams and the deeper sages to match with my colour scheme here to keep the continuity happening. I'm going to put that doily there in the middle because it's going to become a feature between the photos. Just a little peekaboo that I want to stick out. Now that chipboard is a little bit shorter than I thought it was going to be, and I think it's the way that I placed it, because originally it fitted nicely between, but because I turned it around the opposite way, I think that's what's made the difference. So I'm just split it there as you saw me do, and I'm just going to tuck it down, and it still looks like it's an extended frame, and it just looks okay with the rest of that photo grid there. I just had to duck off and do a phone call there, so I'm really sorry. All right, now I'm back in, and I've got the two photos over to the right-hand side, and I'm going to lay there popped up on foam tape, and this one over here to the left I'm just going to adhere down flat so that it just sits against the layout, and that gives a different level to the actual focus on the photos. I have the title here that says Endless Summer, and I am just going to add that in. I did go and add some vintage photo splatters to that title just to lift it up off the black background a little bit. Now with these fussy cut elements, I'm going to create a little splattering of florals across the top here. They are going to be in like clusters, but not like the traditional clusters where you see them at points. I'm just having them here at the top because I like to keep the bottom clear with that title and also the fancy work with that chipboard. So I'm just layering up the pieces here, and I'm just going to go off screen and glue those all down, and I will have popped some of them up on foam tape. Now with this punch, this is my leaf punch, my favourite leaf punch. I am also going to build those clusters up more with some more foliage. But before I do that, I'm just going to ink the edges with a little bit of that wilderness colour, because I just want to tone it down a little, but also to blend it in a little bit more naturally with the rest of the papers. So now that I've done that, you'll see by tucking in the foliage here around the clusters, that just bulks them up nicely. And I really do love that punch. That's one of my favourite punches, especially when I'm creating clusters with foliage. It's quick and it's easy, and it's a great go-to, as you can see. And it just tucks in, and it can be cut in any colour or any shade or tone related to whatever project you're working on. So using your punches is a great way of getting your projects bulked up and filled with little effort. So don't forget to go and check out your punches. I'm sure you'll be surprised with what you've got in your drawers. I know every time I come across one, I go, wow, I forgot that, I've got that. And it actually adds that little bit extra. So around the edges there, I've just added in some faux stitching, and I'm doing it down the centre of these ones here underneath those doily punch, just to add a little bit of detail and give it a little bit of a lift to the layout. I'm putting down here at the bottom where it is, and it was December 24, and it's my daughter and her husband, and we were at Stanwell Park Beach, which is down the coast, and it was a lovely day, and these photos were just a magic for that time that we spent before I got very, very sick. So I am pretty pleased with how this has turned out. I'm just going to add in some ink splatters to finish it off. I do love the black in the background, but I just want to add some of this vintage photo through the spritz just to give it a little bit of a splatter. That will carry the colour scheme across the layout, and it will allow it all just to have that little bit of mixed media finish off, which we all know adds that little bit extra to your layouts. So you can see here how this has come in. I have the Nuvo drops there in the 3 points, and that's allowed for a visual triangle. And look at that, it's just beautiful. Nature's Way from Scrapbook Fantasies. I'll have all the details down in my box down below. Go and check out all the people who are playing along. Like seriously, there are so many talented people, and you will learn so much just by watching what they are producing. I know I do every time I watch. I learn something new, and you know, like they might just remind you of something, and maybe I'm not the one that's going to spark your creativity, but if I have, give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you like my content. It also helps to push it out there to the algorithm. I know that that's not important really, but it just keeps our channels alive, and so that you get to see what we're creating on a more regular basis. So thanks everybody for watching. I really do love how this has turned out. It was a very simple design, but with the patches added, it's added a little bit of level of complexity and also that decorative edge that we all like to see in our work. As I said, thanks Tara for coordinating this every month. It is really a great hop. Go and check out everybody else playing, as I said, in the playlist down below. Check out my description box below for all the details of things that I've included and mentioned throughout this layout. And once again, happy scrapping everybody, one layout at a time. We're building history in our albums. I hope to see you real soon, and here's my next video for you. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.